So, having just got the van back from having the seats fitted, what I thought we'd do is saw a massive hole in the roof. Standard technique when you don't have a nibbler, 4 holes in the corners with a metal drill bit, and then angle grinder with a cutting blade to go between them. Not a bad job. I filed it down afterwards. I've got a slight overcut on a couple of corners, but what we have is this, which comes it with the window, or supplied by the same supplier, which flattens out and gives a nice surface to seal to, and actually all the overcuts are under this, so we'll seal those up fully under this, and it should give a nice fit. These are the seats and the windows in now. What we've done down here is actually had a plinth fabricated to bring the seats up to about the same height as the front seats. The driver's seat we've got the swivel for. I'm hearing mixed reviews as to passenger seat swivels, so I'm not sure whether we're going to actually add the swivel to that or not. If we don't, then it's a slightly odd formation, but it gives a kind of airline train style table arrangement with fairly compact area to eat in and sit in once we have a table in here. It's left us with masses of space in the back for the equipment storage and a small kitchen area and fold down bed on top of them. Could have gone a few centimetres back, but we were somewhat limited by the spars. This line of flat section under directly behind the seat frame is actually the chassis cross member, so we had to stay at one side of that, which has limited exactly our options for putting these seats. But that being said, I am pretty happy. I think it's going to be tight sat around a table, but all things considered, not a bad space. So we've now got the nice hole is prepped. The key to getting sealant or anything else, paint for that matter, is to make sure that your surface is clean and dry and has just been have a little bit of roughed up with sandpaper or something, just so it's not completely smooth, so there's something for the adhesives to adhere to. So next little job done, sound deadening mat. This is Dodo mat, but it's basically butyl rubber with a foil on top of it. Will probably have a slight insulating effect, but mainly it just stops these panels from reverberating so much, and even just walking across it there's noticeable difference in how noisy the back of this van is. This hole is looking pretty good now, ready for the window to go in. One thing to watch though when fitting this butyl is that the foil backing is quite sharp when cut, and if you don't want to end up like that, probably best to wear gloves. So this is the line of butyl sealant that's going to try and keep any ingress out. I reckon this line's probably about the right thickness because I'm now halfway around and used about half a tube and I've got 2 tubes. This is the butyl layer now, with the spacer on top, so you get a nice flat surface to make the window onto. I'm going to go around that with a scraper to get rid of the excess, but I think I should have a pretty good seal there. Okay, so this is the critically important bit, is making sure that I've got just enough sealant around the edges here. I am pretty happy with that. The only problem with this stuff is it's really stringy, so putting more on leaves little traces of the stuff everywhere. So I'm going to stop there. So this is the Nomadic Ark roof light in place. We had the bead of sealant in the last video. We've simply spun it over and dropped it on, and it's easier to actually have it on the roof by passing it up through the hole and then flip it over, just making sure that the hinges are facing into the wind as you're driving rather than the wrong way. Now it was a bit of a mystery how these black blocks worked. because they didn't appear to press against the roof to hold the window down. So I think the intention was you put some kind of spacer to get it to where you want it in terms of offset from the roof panel, which is what we've done, and I'm now quite happy with that. Those are pressing the window down, and we'll go around and put the rest of those on. So because this roof is ridged, the window was supplied with a lovely plate to flatten it, which made installing the top side much easier. What we didn't realise was that you also were going to need spacers to make sure that these black things were just the right offset from the roof. And not only that, you'd need different size spacers depending on whether you're pushing against a ridge or a dip in the roof. So before you get to the point of getting sealant on, make sure that you've got some spacers and an assortment, or exactly the right ones, all ready to go. So we're all tidied up now, and the final touch, the surround with lights in it. It's not wired in yet because I haven't done any of my leisure electrics. Those will go down here, and I haven't put the covers over the LEDs. We've got those supplied because they don't look like they'll ever come off again, and I want to get to these screws just in case I need to move it at all when we do the final roof covering in here. But overall I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty neat. This does have some neat features. Obviously it locks down like that, and we can open it with the red buttons and the clips. We can push it a little way up, grab the handle to push it up, and push it to just there, and clip that down, and then we've got it at vent level. Final couple of features is it's got its own inbuilt fly screen, and if you slide them the other way, inbuilt blind. One of the nice bonuses of having done this is as I stand up here, and I can stand up in the middle of an L1H1. Apologies for that super close angle. I can even lift these up. It's got nice gas struts, so it just smoothly folds up, and beautiful blue sky out of the top of the van. I mean, obviously the blue sky is not standard, this is Manchester after all.